and the NAS had not, but now the NAS has gone through and taken out the lows. So this 4-hour candle is opening not much of a wick, just a little blip so far, and then we're going straight down. So where are we going down to would be the question. So I want to go back up to the daily, back to the weekly. Okay, so we've gone through the last line of defense here. We're into the order block, back into the 1-2 area. So that's not good. Not good at all that we've come all the way back in there. We would be expecting a bounce at this, in this area here, but we're going right through it. So unless we get a wick here, this could be quite a mess. So this was the last line of defense, this gap here on the weekly time frame. Interesting. So where would we go if we were continuing down and they're not going to stop? Where would we go to next? The only place we could go to is the lows. That's a long way down, so we don't really want to see that. Daily time frame. Yeah, this is just nasty, eh? Straight down. 4-hour time frame.
Nasty looking, that last one.
Yeah, I mean, on the daily, it's just not good. So I'm looking for a possible turnaround here, but we've gone right through that. There's the gap that I'm showing from the daily, weekly. There's the midpoint of the gap, and we've already gone through that, gone through the base of the gap, the lower portion of the gap, and we're still heading down. So again, we're inside our wave 2 area. We're inside this area, which is not really that good. So the next point to take out would be the low, our number 2 point. So we've got our number 1 point, our number 2 point. Well, taking that out is just not a good thing. If I go back up to I think it was on the weekly. Yeah, it was on the weekly. That's a long way down. Like seems like a stretch that they would even go to think about going down there, but anything's possible. That would be this low here.
Yeah, I don't think that's out of the question at all.
It's a possibility, but very unusual if it does do that. So let me see on the daily if there's something else that can hold us up. So on the daily, there are some gaps here. Yeah, so maybe we won't go down that far because there are a series of gaps and order blocks just right where we are currently. I'm going to mark this gap here because if we come through this one, then it's not good. So that will be the definite last line of defense here. We don't really want to go too much lower than that. Yeah, it would not be good for us to be going down into this guy here. At all. Okay, so we're edging closer and closer to this big, huge order block area and a gap area. So, all right, so that looks like that could
low
be.
Now.
Sorry?
New 5-day low anyway.
Yeah. So there we are. We're coming right down into that 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute, and we could be getting a turnaround. So let's see how far I am from that. Okay, so we're not very far away from that gap area, and order blocks are right just above those gaps. So we're right in that area where we should be expecting a turnaround here on these instruments. So S&P also right there, looking like we could get a turnaround imminently here. And Bitcoin is doing the same thing. We're coming down to a low. I'm down the midpoint of a big gap from the weekly or the daily. We're right there at the midpoint. So if we're going to turn around, this is it. We should be turning around here, or very close to there. But on Bitcoin, I see something a little different than the NAS. Right here, we do have a huge 1, 2, 3, and another 1, 2, 3. So Bitcoin's pointing to even further drops. So it's not looking very good for Bitcoin at this point. Go back to the weekly. We could come down into this guy. So there's lots of room there for that to drop down into this one. Interesting. So these are gaps from the daily time frame. So yeah, it does look like that's where we're heading. We're coming down to the next gap based on the 1, 2, 3 right here. So we have a 1, 2, 3 right there. That would bring us down into this area here. So that's quite a drop to come. Now, of course, we can get some bounces, and we are. But do we really want to go long at this point? NAS is doing a nice bounce here. So that's what I was expecting on the NAS right away, a little bit of a bounce here because we were coming down to that low. But this could be just a little fake, and they can drop it one more time into our gap. So
they're going to drop it some more. It's just a question of how much counter trend trade you can get out of this.
And Tesla also trying to make a little bit of a bounce. So it's similar. Tesla's right down to the last line of defense here, looking for a bounce here. Definitely. So you can see this is the same kind of thing with Tesla. We have this move here, and if we call it a 1, 2, we've come back into our number 2 area, which is not good. So we would expect a bounce here, but it could be short-lived, and then we come back down, take out this low again. So quite interesting here. So it's going to make for an interesting day, trying to figure out I know Marquis was playing gold last week, and gold, I think, is still stuck in its 4th wave. Yeah. So looking for this to exit and go up. Yeah, it's quite the 4th wave here on gold. Got an A and a B and a C and a D and an E. So we would expect a move out. But yeah, it's just looking like it's starting to.
The lows, it'll certainly be hitting over the top.
Yeah, it looks like it's thinking about it right now, but there is a 1, 2, 3 here. And we had this big drop And now we're getting a little bit of a bounce. So is it a bounce to continue up, or is it just a bounce to drop one more time to take out the slow? So this 1, 2, 3 here, we've got, that could be possible bottom, but it also could be a little fake bounce, and then we get another drop to take out the low one more time. So care has to be taken with that. So quite an interesting market here. Everything is down. It's all red across the board here. All right, so there is the NAS. All right, so this is what we're looking for. We get a sweep. We get another sweep here. So we'll retrace back in through this gap, and that would present a buy to go up. You got to keep your stop tight, because just in case that they're not done, and this is just a fake out move, because it could be just a 3, 4, and then we're going right through to take out the lows one more time. We're in a big move down, so that's a possibility that we would just continue down rather than turning and going back up. But they could also bounce it up short term. So let's see if we can pick something off here. So I need them to come back into this gap. We drop into this gap, I would keep my stop at most this low, maybe a little lower, but let's see if we get a push back into this gap here. Yeah, this is rather a quick move, so kind of seen 1, 2, 3, so we could easily come straight through and take out the lows one more time. You see how S&P looks. S&P is identical. So same thing, looking for, so S&P's already dropped into the gap. So we had that little drop right here, and they came back into the gap right there, that's previous candle. Whereas the NAS did not come back into the gap. So the S&P essentially would have been a good buy right there. So the difference between them is quite interesting, because you'll be looking for that retrace into the gap here, and you don't get it, but on the S&P, it's already done it. So you'd be sitting here waiting for this thing to come back, and the S&P is already telling you, oh no, I'm already gone. So the S&P was a better buy at this point right here. At this point.
Now, if the NAS is going to catch up, you have an opportunity.
The NAS is way, they're in line now.
Yeah.
So what they did here was they did not drop it back into the gap. That's the subtle difference. So I'd be sitting there waiting for the NAS to drop back into the gap, and they're just leaving town.
It just took off.
So that's what I was looking for, but the S&P's already done it. So if I had them both up at the same time, and I saw this drop into the gap on the S&P, then I would know that I could enter NASDAQ at this point, because they're not dropping it back. But you have to have them both up, otherwise you never see that. Like I say, this could be short-lived anyways.
Right, right.
We could come back pretty quick and take out that low again. As we're coming back into a gap here, so we could be coming back down again. It's just a huge 1-2 here, so we could just be doing that.
You would have had a nice gain already on that NAS.
It would have been a nice play.
Almost up to the 1 standard deviation on the 1-minute chart.
Well, again, they're coming back into this area quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so quite a ways up. He took out that gap. There's no other gaps up here, so until here, so they might be reaching for that. And that's the order block as well. Order block. So we could be going back up to the order block before we come down.
That's a much bigger move at this point, it looks like. Not that much. You're right. It's really not that much. You're almost into it now.
I put a chart of Bitcoin and Ethereum. I notice sometimes that Bitcoin and Ethereum, there's divergence. And here it is. See how Bitcoin and Ethereum, there was divergence here.
Yeah.
So I was looking at them last night and realized, oh, okay, so that's where I can get my divergence from. Because remember, sometimes Bitcoin does not give us a fifth wave. In this case, Bitcoin gave us the fifth wave sweep, but Ethereum did not. So there was no sweep here. You just get a straight 1-2, and then they're off. So Bitcoin was a little weaker than Ethereum at this point. And Ethereum said, we're not going down there, and off they went. But now Bitcoin is caught up to Ethereum and is pushing up. Albeit we could be done now on that push back up, back to the order block. And we could see a drop here to come back and take out these lows possibly. If not to take out the lows, then halfway down in continuation. But Ethereum definitely looks like it wants to come back down to take out the lows. More like a fourth wave here. So quite interesting how they play against each other. So I'll keep a chart of Ethereum and Bitcoin from now on because it's giving me that divergence. So NASDAQ might be turning back.
Yeah.
Already. There we go. So, that was quick. So they came as high as not. They didn't even come up to the order block. So are they done, or are they going to go one more time above that high?
It could still get there.
It's a possibility that they're going to take that high one more time to go just to go into the order block, just to touch that, and then we get a 1-2 here to come back down. Possibility, I say.
And then again,
So our 4-hour candle opens, and now we're in the tail. So that could be the bottom, and this is just the tail of the 4-hour candle, and we're going to be riding up in a move back up. That's totally a possibility here. We'll see if that holds. So this could be a bottom, or we still have one more, like I say, one more drop to come. So based on my overall structure here, I would think that we should have one more drop.
yeah, that's what it's kind of looking like, but it's been going down a while too. Not really dropping that fast either. I haven't gotten my first lot yet. There it goes. I got my first lot.
So you jumped in to go south?
Yeah.
That's brave.
Huh?
That's brave. We still could go back up one more time here, so.
Oh, by what I see.
Well, S&P says it doesn't want to go back up. So they are coming down quite fast, but they're very tricky here. Yeah, S&P's already broken past that area. So they look like they're just going to go. So that means NAS should follow. They're not giving us much of a retraces or anything here. It's just very quick.
But the up.
Yeah, there they go. So they're not going back up at all. So it's just a straight 1, 2, 3, 4, and down we go. So no retraces whatsoever. Looking for a little bit of a retrace at least, but nope.
I got 131 handles out of it.
Well, that's great. So Bitcoin's a better pattern. in the sense that Bitcoin gave us a proper retrace. So that's a much better looking retrace there on Bitcoin. And it looks like this was a tie here, and then breach of this guy. So another retrace here, back to the order block. And we continue down. So they came back, but boy, very stingy. They came within a tick. I thought they were going a little bit deeper. Nope.
I didn't let it go down that far, really, and I probably should have let it go further, but
Okay, so we've got breach. See if we get another retrace here back to this order block. They came within a tick right here. Thought they were going to go in a little bit more, but nope. Let's see if they come back in again one more time on Bitcoin here.
last night I took a glimpse of NASDAQ. I guess it would be around 7 to 8 o'clock your time, Lennox, and it was going up.
Yes.
Looked like a nice trade. I was doing other things, so I didn't even attempt to take it, but I saw it setting up. And the nice thing about that time is that it doesn't move that quickly, really, or doesn't jump as quickly as this thing is doing right now. Like if I had stayed in this thing, I could easily get a heck of a lot more pips out.
Nope, they're not giving me that bounce at all. So yesterday I was playing Bitcoin, and I made off like a bandit with this. I had a lot of trades that were just win, 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 win. So I had a lot of winners going in Bitcoin. It was doing quite nicely. So I was just playing Bitcoin, of course, because that time. But yeah, right up until 11, almost to midnight, and before I went to bed, I had just played. So lots of nice trades and nice profits in Bitcoin last night. And yeah, I had a couple losses here, but then after that I strung a whole bunch of them together. So it was yeah, I think I had 3 losses here, and then after that it was all just wins. So pretty good.
Well, I mean, losses aren't bad because they're tolerable losses.
At one point, I had 15 wins in a row, so doing quite well.
Great.
I was saying to my wife, I'm going to see if I can go 25 wins in a row without a loss, but all of a sudden I got 3 losses in a row. That all I was doing with Bitcoin was just going in and out.
I should have stayed with my original target because it just hit it.
Yeah, I mean on the NAS you wanted to come back down to the lows, so
Yeah,
you could have stayed in. So Bitcoin did nice, and you just want to ride it to this level and the exit. So didn't get a chance to get in on either of them at this point, but that's okay. We'll find an opportunity. So it's doing what we're expecting it to do at this point anyway. So that's the. So NAS should be taking out the lows now. Yeah. So yeah, that's the play. But we didn't really get a nice retrace like we did on Bitcoin there to give us that entry. So just like I suspected, this 1, 2, 3 would give us that move, but unfortunately did not get a nice enough looking 1, 2, 3 here to make that entry. Now, typically I would just jump in based off the fractal. So that would have been an entry on the fractal with a stop right here. So my risk would be low.
I think I was on the 1, 2, 3, 4th candle going. I got it just before it started down. And it turned out to be a good one. I mean, I wasn't looking for a huge drop, but just enough to add to the kitty.
So again, I'm getting divergence with Bitcoin and NASDAQ. Let me go, oops, Bitcoin and NASDAQ. Sorry, Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can see I've got huge divergence here.
Huge. Wow.
So will Bitcoin take out the low or not? If Bitcoin can't take out the low, then it tells us that Bitcoin's much stronger than Ethereum.
Possibility of doing that.
I would expect them to take out the low because I've got a 1, 2, 3 top.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would like to look for that one more drop here, but Ethereum has a 1, 2, 3, and we would think one more time as well. So we'll see. But this is turnaround area now. If we come back down, then we're looking for a 1, 2, 3 to go back up. So
NAS has gone back up too. It's almost to the center line of my regression channel. Almost touched it.
So no divergence with S&P and the NAS. They're both doing the same thing. So I'd look for one more drop on the NAS though. I would think the NAS would come back down and take out these lows one more time. That would give us a nice structure there. And then we'd be looking for a turnaround. 1, 2, 3 here. Let's see if we get that.
Let's see how deep it's going to get into my regression channel. Yeah, I was looking at some of the hourly swings using the Heiken Ashi on the NASDAQ. Boy, there's some nice movements you could make. So, get 400 or 500 handles out of it.
Yes.
But I mean, in reality, though, it's really just as nice looking at this. Your trades are over and done with in a short time. You don't have to wait until after supper to see if it's going to work. Has a nice ring to it that way. See, now this retrace on NAS, though, is not high enough for me. I'd like to see about 5 or 6 more candles on an up move.
Well, I jumped in on Bitcoin because it's looking like it wants to make a turnaround at this point here. It's got a 1, 2, 3 bottom. However, I could be wrong, and they could take out the low one more time. So I'm going to take a partial quick here. I had an opportunity to take a partial, but I was a bit slow. So here I'm going to take one. If I can go a little bit back up there again.
Oh, you have 10 seconds to a new candle, so.
I think I missed my opportunity here, unfortunately. I was looking for this bounce, and they gave it to me.
I mean, I'm seeing that it's really trying to move higher yet, so I don't think you have lost that. But
yeah, I took a partial real quick there because just in case they decide that they want to come back down and take out these lows, although Ethereum, yeah, I'm going to have to put a stop in right below this guy just so that I mitigate any losses here if they do decide to come back. They might not come back. I'm getting quite the divergence with Ethereum. You see?
What chart are you on there? Is that the regular NAS? It looks like. I mean,
this is Bitcoin, and there's Ethereum. You see the difference? We've got this huge divergence.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So it's showing a lot more strength in Bitcoin than Ethereum right here. So I'm thinking Bitcoin should take off.
Bitcoin going up a tad more before it starts its downward movement. On my CCI, the turbo is trying like heck to pull it over to the positive side. And if it's able to do that, you'll have a better entry point for the sell.
Yeah, I might get taken out here. I thought I put a stop in. I'm sure I did.
Selling it, right?
No, I'm buying it.
Sure.
Okay, they're hanging around too long here. I'm not liking it too much, so I'm gonna exit because they're hanging out too long in here. Thought maybe we'd just go straight up, but they're hanging around, so this kind of telling me that they're gonna
close that. You're closing it. You're converting your limit order to a market order, right?
Yes. So yeah, they're chopping it up here, so it's more of a fourth wave. So they're gonna drop it through. I thought maybe we get a bigger bounce in here, maybe back up to this.
Oh, I have a feeling that's gonna pull it up again. Turbo wasn't able to get it up higher, so if it can't get it much lower, it should be going up another round. I can see it trying to get up to 78873. There it goes again. This is the one.
Yeah. That's my thought, that they were going to come up here, and now they're starting to do it. Of course, when I exit, but that's the way it is. So let's see if they do indeed come back down, take out these lows one more time. That would be the expectation based on our structure. They're just chopping it, drop it one more time, and they might take out this low.
I hope it goes up once more so you can get a good opportunity to get in with a.
No, I'd rather wait for the 1, 2, 3 bottom. That would be the better play. So I thought maybe because we had divergence with the Ethereum that we could just start leaving, but they're not doing that. So they're playing games in here. So it looks like they're coming back to take out the lows, and then I'll wait for the 1, 2, 3 bottom. So they're playing games here. They're tricking people, and that's what they do. So okay, so NAS is doing the same thing. You can see it's almost identical. So we've got the 1, 2. So this is a fourth wave, and we'll drop one more time, take out the lows.
Turbo was not able to pull it up any higher than it did. And now it's said, okay, you can't go up, you got to go down.
So S&P and NAS are doing the same thing. So NAS has broken the low, S&P has not as yet.
Yeah, I see that. I took my eye off it, but actually, I did not like that upward movement. It didn't go up high enough. I was waiting for a few more candles on that. Didn't get it though. So I sit that one out.
So this could be the turnaround point here for the NAS now. So what we can do is wait for a breach of the high, and that would give us a nice 1, 2, 3 that way. Or we can jump in on the fractal at this point, less risk, but less risk in stops.
Go down some more too before it goes up.
Yeah, so you take a risk in that you could be stopped out, but it's less risk of us with the stop. So,
okay, you almost hit the bottom on your Bitcoin. You know, the immediate bottom, not a long term one. That's doing exactly what I expected to do.
so Bitcoin's coming down to take out the low, it looks like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that's what I thought they would do. They take out this low, but they take out this one now.
Yeah, they got to take out the next one down.
And that will nullify the divergence with Ethereum. So I would think that they would take this low out.
Well, right now we have at least a fair value gap. See how long it lasts. Getting smaller and smaller. Okay, well, it still has a fair value gap, but it's a lot smaller on Bitcoin. Are you going to take out the bottom or aren't you?
I don't think they will.
Okay, we got a new low on NAS. Not quite taking out the bottom yet on Bitcoin.
There they go. They took it out.
Yep. Yep, definitely. Let's see how much further down they want to go.
That might be it. That might just be enough for them.
Yeah.
Just sweep these guys.
Because they're getting aggressive now. No. maybe a lot of people just start thinking that way and it pushes it up. And then the big boys look for those stops and say, let's go down further and grab onto them. We're into the macro on NAS.
Mm-hmm. I look for a breach of this high.
But it's not a beautiful macro as far as I can see.
1, 2, 3 like this, and we would be good to go. Because they might, well, they did take it one more time. They swept it.
Yeah, the last move up it had was rather tepid, and this move down is not something to be that proud of. And it looks like it wants to turn around now. I think this is a tease.
Well, this is Bitcoin I'm on. I thought I was on the NAS. I'm on Bitcoin. Let me go to the NAS. So the NAS is starting to make a move.
Yeah, well, NAS is trying to. I got a half a check mark on NAS, but
okay. So looking for
come down some more, but I could.
We got it. We're looking for a retrace back to our order block here. And that would give us a 1, 2, 3 to go here. So our structure is complete. Got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And we've got our large 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So now we just need a little 1, 2 here, and we're off to the races, to the upside. So looking for a retrace back to the order block. Do we get it? Or do they just take off without us?
That would be a counter trend trade, then. These counter trends.
S&P is the same. S&P actually has an inverted gap.
Okay, we have a full check mark now. Got 2 pre-check marks now on NAS. Go up high enough.
Good morning. So, may I ask you about the inverted gap?
The inverted gap?
Yeah.
So S&P has an inverted gap here. So it's the gap that was a bearish gap.
Okay.
On this side here. So it's possible that price could come back and touch that inverted gap. It can act as support to push price back up. So look, we're looking for a retrace back. There's also a regular gap right here. So we've got 2 gaps. So either one can be in play now. So which one would it be? So we want to try to get in, you know, in around the 50% or less or more area, I suppose. So I want to go back to the NAS because that's the one I want to play. So, so because I have a gap here, I can use that gap, and we're right in the middle of it. We also have an order block right here, so they're coming right to it. So it looks like a good opportunity for a buy. And again, we can see our structure coming down, and we know that it come down a little bit more still in that area. So that's a reasonable buy opportunity there.
I'm not seeing that one.
We're touching that. We're touching this order block. We're in the middle of the gap. They can come down a little bit more, of course, but it looks like they might come down a little bit more. Yeah. So that's my, and then my stop, I'd put my stop below the mid candle. Technically, I should put my stop below this candle. So I'll put it, do the technical thing here, put it there. Now looking for us to leave out of here quickly.
Yeah, it's 2 o'clock in New York, eh? For 2 hours left.
Yeah,
So Bitcoin
almost.
is leaving out of there quickly. So that's what I want to see. I want to see
Bitcoin
NAS do that.
Higher now. But it's still only a half a check mark for me.
So the difference here with Bitcoin is that we don't have any gaps, but we do have an order block. So we have this order block right here. And then we also have a regular gap. This is, but it's very tiny. It's just a tiny gap. I don't know if that's even countable, but it's a tiny gap right there, just a regular gap between two candles. And then we might get a gap, another gap here. We have to wait for this the current candle to close, mind you, but that's a gap there. So we've got three gaps. Sorry, order block and two other gaps. So once this candle closes, can we get a retrace back into maybe the midpoint of the order block or something like that? That would be like perfect for an entry.
Got an opportunity to take something off on the house.
Oh, did I on NAS?
Because it's
Not really, no. A bigger push than that. Probably had some nice profit up there. Could have taken off, yeah. Okay, so
getting
they're hanging around too long in here. I'm not liking that. They need to go. I'm gonna bring my stop up a little bit because of that, because they're hanging around so much. I'm not liking that they're hanging around in there too so long.
this is where I move my target down to see if I can take that out rather than taking my stop out. That saves me a heck of a lot of handles. I don't know if it's easy to do in Oanda though.
In TradingView, yeah. Okay, so we had a nice push out. They come back in. They're hanging around a little bit here.
I think we're going to get more down movement.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to move my stop up, just in case they decided to do that, because, yeah, it's a bit tepid in here. And, yeah, not liking it. But I could be wrong, and they might just take me out, and could have left my stop where it was, and they might take off without me now. So I took a little bit of a hit just in case. But
take off at this point.
Yeah. So I had some profits there that it didn't take off, unfortunately, because I'm jumping around too much here. Okay, let's see what happens here. So would my stop have been okay back where I had it? Probably, or probably not. We'll see. If they take out this low again, then no. But they're really hanging around in here, eh?
Yeah.
But our structure is complete.
Looking to do, and
the structure is complete, so we should be done. Why they're hanging out in here so long, I'm not sure.
Because they're in a downward swing at this point. It's a poor down.
Let's go up to the 5 here. Let me just see. Yeah, we're still in a Yeah, but we should be getting a little bit of a bounce here. You know, we're very. I mean, this is the next gap right here on this line. So it's possible they're still looking to come down to that gap, but would be expecting a bounce here.
Even Bitcoin is trying to go back south.
Let's see okay, so I bought Bitcoin again. Okay, no, Bitcoin's doing good. So that's what we want to see. I'll take a partial on Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's nice when you get a kick like that.
Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful move on Bitcoin. Make up for my loss and everything. So see how they came right into the midpoint of that order block without going through it. They just stuck right on it.
Right now we've got
getting that nice move on Bitcoin.
A movement on Bitcoin.
So I could move my stop into positive here and not lose anything on trade.
You have a pretty good size.
Okay, so NAS should now follow suit here.
I don't know about that.
They're playing around still.
They're not following suit on NAS.
Okay, they're hugging this order block. Staying right in that order block. So yeah, they're giving people a lot of chance to get in here, that's for sure. Interesting to see how S&P is doing. So S&P is actually looking to take out the low.
Well, both of them are heading in that direction. S&P and you're looking at your S&P and
so I wouldn't have been safe there with my stop. In any case, well, it was very close, very close.
I didn't like the last 20 candle movements, period, so I didn't even go in.
Okay, S&P's taking out the low, so we have divergence again.
Stock is going to do the same. It's going to hit a new low.
Interesting. Okay, so they've taken out the lows. All right.
There's your new low.
So, yeah, so that's quite an interesting move here. So essentially, that's what they're doing. Is this was our third wave. So it looked like this was our fourth wave here, but they're very tricky. So they make this our third instead. So quite an interesting move there. All right, so that should be the bottom now at this point. This should be our bottom. And we should go now. So I would look for a breach of this high and get a 1, 2, 3 here to go. So let's see if that one works. So now we have a legitimate sweep.
The question whether this
Another sweep.
Is good or not.
Can we get that? We're going down a little further. We do have a 1, 2, 3 here.
Too low.
Okay, so Bitcoin stopped me out in positive, but that's fine. Figured they might do that because NASDAQ has done that. So they're coming back again, maybe to take out this low.
Back down.
Interesting. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're saying that this is 3 then, and then we're going into 4 to drop one more time. So,
is that 4 big enough? Is that
Ethereum is much stronger. Interesting. Yeah, Bitcoin's coming to take out the lows.
NAS is going to take out your lows, I think.
So all these gaps mean nothing now. Order block means nothing. Okay, so that's why they were kind of hanging out so long in the NAS, because they wanted to go down one more time.
And it still doesn't look like it's finished.
So there we go. So Ethereum is not as weak currently. Interesting.
But Bitcoin is
Bitcoin is.
a new one too. Don't know, not quite yet. There we go. Either equal or low. Looks like
okay. So looking for a sweep at 1-2. So we could go down a little bit more. So yeah, lots of pressure on these markets right now.
Pressure is down.
Looking for a little bounce, but
on Bitcoin?
on all of them, I'm looking for a bounce, back to the upside. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure to the downside. That's for sure.
Still to the downside. Could easily be wrong.
It's tough selling in here because they might not go down that far. So it's.
Oh, I don't think they're going. I wouldn't sell at all at this point, even though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's very tough to sell here because.
Trend is down, but.
I mean, this is not a bad sell here. If you were nimble enough to catch that, it's really good.
That
But
would have been a good move, but I didn't expect it to go that easily. It did. It's gonna play games in this area right now.
Give me a break.
One more minute into the top of the hour macro.
we're in algo time. Okay, so one more drop here for the NAS, for Bitcoin, I should say.
Neither of them look like they want to turn upside right now. Doesn't mean that they couldn't. It's just that they haven't given me a good signal yet.
Okay, so we've got on Bitcoin, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got one more drop to come. We would expect one more drop here. So let's see if we get that. Let's see how Ethereum looks. Ethereum still has not broken the low. Interesting. So you can see we're getting quite the divergence at this point with Ethereum and Bitcoin.
Trying to pull the NASDAQ north.
So we might not get a fifth wave here on Bitcoin because of the divergence. It's possible we might not get another drop to take out this low.
I got 1.5 check marks on NASDAQ. A half a check mark on Bitcoin.
This is very interesting with the because of the. You go to both charts and you'll see what I'm talking about here. Because of the difference in divergence.
Oh wow!
Yes, that's what I thought. Yeah, they're very sneaky, boy.
Oh,
so they take that out.
That's your algo.
I'm expecting one more drop. We're not getting it because we've got divergence on here. So they're taking off. All right, so now we need a retrace. So if we can get a retrace back in, that
Mr.
would be,
Alco, and you called it right, but you didn't get in. And
yeah.
I didn't see it.
All right, so now I have an inverted gap here. So looking for a retrace here. Let's see if we can get it. They're very sneaky.
You're in an algo, you're not going to get it.
These guys are good. These guys are way too good. So we've got a big gap here, but this gap is very high up. Yeah, they might not come back at all here. So where's 50% of this move here? Okay, just below, just right at this order block. So if we can come back to the order block, that's a buy opportunity on Bitcoin there. So will they come back down there is the question. Yeah, they're very good. They're very good. So if I were just watching Bitcoin alone, I would have been expecting another drop here. But the Ethereum wouldn't even break the low. So Ethereum had a lot of strength, so that's why they took off. And there's the buy opportunity right there. So they'll just come and touch this order block and more than likely take off now. Yeah, look at the difference. Ethereum is just very strong. Big push. There was probably a similar opportunity in NASDAQ at the same point. They probably came back and they did touch that gap, didn't they? They came back and touched the gap perfectly.
Yeah, I picked up handles and
Yeah, it's just beautiful. They're very good. These guys are so good. It's impressive. Okay, so I've got some nice profits on Bitcoin. Did have some nice profits on Bitcoin. Look away for a moment. So this would have been a buy on the NAS right there as well.
oh yeah, you called that nicely, Lennox.
I'm gonna take a partial on Bitcoin. Yeah, so they don't give you much of a chance. They give you one little touch and that's it, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin, they've come back into the same spot again on a retrace. So they're giving people a chance to get in. You see with Bitcoin, they've come back again. So they will take a little something off up there, and now they drop back in again, give you another opportunity to get in. And this might be it. It's possible that they could take out this low, because that's how they operate. They can be ruthless. They'll come lots of stops here, right? So they could take this low before they go, but they're touching the midpoint of this gap, so that might be enough for them. But this is a low-hanging fruit, so
Yeah.
you might take it. Yeah, looks like they're going to do that. 78. Excuse me. Yeah, they've taken that low. So I didn't want to put my stop there because of that, just in case they came back down to take that. So I could actually add to my position here.
I think there was a Gesundheit in order there.
I'll add to my positions, look for them to take off out of here. Okay, they're taking, going back down a little bit more interesting. See how Ethereum is doing.
Playing games with me now.
We should be leaving.
We should be, but they're not.
Oh, looks like Peter's back.
Yeah. Don't like that. Don't like that.
Well, they're pulling back quite a bit here, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to get them to take me out, but they're not.
See what they're doing on the seconds here. That's quite a retrace.
Yeah, it was.
I thought the order block might have sufficed for them to bounce us off and continue, but they came back into the middle of the gap, of the inverted gap, interestingly. So this inverted gap here, they came all the way back to the midpoint of it. So quite interesting that they did that. So that might be it now. It should go. Let's see if that's it. Ethereum, they came back to the gap. See how it looks from the 5-minute time frame. We're still a little bit suspect here, eh?
Yeah.
Still a little bit suspect. It is a possible. It is still a possibility they could sneaky take out that low, but don't really want to see that. But Bitcoin is much stronger now than Ethereum is. Interesting. So they're switched back and forth. There's more strength in Bitcoin now. So looking for a big move out. Take out these equal highs up here. Equal highs up here.
I'm not liking this at all.
Yeah, they're playing games, George. They're giving people lots of opportunity to get in if they want to, that's for sure. Not much of an algo yet.
Okay. I finally got them to take my limit, but let me see how much I got out of the thing. Oh, I lost 2 handles on that move. I was being too piggy. I should have taken it out before when it was higher.
Okay, I think we're going to leave now. We're getting ready to go back.
Going up. Lost
Or not.
2
Oh,
handles.
2, 3, 4, 5. So they've taken that low again. So my stop would be here or underneath this candle. That's a long way down. So they're putting me in some jeopardy here. But I'm going to, I'm a believer, so I'm going to buy some more because we're going up.
What the heck did I do? There we go.
Yep.
I dropped 1.5 handles on that one.
That sounds rough, George. Not shabby.
That was because I pulled my limit down. I mean, I wanted to get out, but instead of, if I moved my stop up, I probably would have lost about 10 handles. But by moving my limit down, it got it to trigger, and it was only a handle and a half.
Okay, this is not good. It looks like it's looking like they want to take this low.
Yeah, they're
which is interesting because you wouldn't think that they would have been doing that. Let's see. Ethereum is much closer to the low. And so we've got a 1, 2, 3 top here. And now they're looking to take that low. Interesting.
My mistake was, Lennox, when I said that this is the algo move. That algo move was in the counter trend direction, and I shouldn't have taken that. Or I should have gotten out earlier when I was up over 50 pips, handles. So that was my mistake.
Okay, they need to turn this thing around here.
Win-loss ratio, though, on this, so it's not that bad.
That's not good. So my stop would have been here. I would have been taken out at that point. So So they've come down quite a ways, much more than I would have expected them to. I didn't think they would even go through these gaps. So it looks like they're looking to take out the lows.
Yeah, and I was silly, right?
Ethereum.
Told you exactly where I should have done it, and I lost my chance to do it. Maybe it'll come up and give me another shot at it.
So my last line of defense is this gap. So we've got a bounce here now. You think that after they did this move and swept and made this big strong move to the upside that we would be on our way from in here, but they're good, you know. They say, nope, let's get some more orders. There's some stragglers down here. Let's get them first. So looking to grab as much as they can before they leave.
So I'm going to see what I can grab up here. Let's see if I can grab the 31.
So we're getting a little bit of divergence on S&P and the NAS. Again, S&P's looking to take out the low.
It allowed me to get it.
The NAS, no.
Should be able to pull this down somewhat. This down. Let's see if we can do that. Good. Keep going.
So complete divergence on between Bitcoin and the Ethereum. Quite interesting there. This guy's no good. This guy's no good. We're getting that nice move back out. Very nice. Okay, I'll take a partial on this guy. Take 12 off. Next TP would be these equal highs right here.
So, just so you know, Xro has sold 518,000 shares today, and it's gone up a penny and a half, or 13.64%.
That's good.
Fantastic. Which
That's a
one
good
is that?
Xro.
That's a good sign.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's quite the drop back. Wow, what the heck? Okay, so they're giving people lots of chances to get into this thing unless they're going to take out that low. Let's see, Ethereum here. Oh yeah, look at Ethereum. So Ethereum is doing the pattern exactly as you would expect it to do. It's doing the 1, 2, the 3, the 4, the 5 sweep. So Ethereum should be done now. Get a sweep, drop. That's our pattern. So this looks really good on Ethereum. So Bitcoin should basically follow suit here. And it can't break these lows. So we're getting quite a divergence. So Bitcoin is much stronger. So I'm going to buy some more here. And should get a nice push out of here. So it's quite interesting, the difference in the with the divergence. Need to come back up. Oh, that's not good. So they're going down a little bit more. We don't want to see Bitcoin going down, taking out that low. That's not good. They can take that one.
It didn't take down the low yet.
No, Ethereum is going down further, but they went to take out this low here on Bitcoin because that's where stops are. Very sneaky.
I see. Yeah.
So hopefully that's it now. We go. So it's a similar divergence on S&P and the NAS. You got very close to divergence there. Sweep that low. So hopefully they'll leave this low alone. But they're looking like they want to take it out. So that would give us the 5-wave structure here if they did. But I hope they don't take it out. Just that's enough for a sweep, and we continue back up here.
I'm thinking it should go down.
Well, that's Vancouver.
Vancouver. City of 1,000 skyscrapers. Mini New York, eh?
I heard it's a criminal capital of
North America?
Yeah. You know, that's the earthquake-proof building there, right? They built that back in the 80s, I think it was.
Yeah, but this Titanic couldn't sink either, right?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
you know, they're trying, right? I mean,
Yeah, well,
if you step
they
out
say-
of the elevator onto the floor, there's a big gap between the concrete and the floor there. There's a nice gap there. Let's
yeah,
go
it doesn't mean
buildings.
anything when the earth opens up and swallows it.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
What's going
Those
on?
guys
Is that
in
Bitcoin?
those guys in Babylon were laughing at all the Cyrus and his army for 3 months camped out and trying to get in. They were partying and having huge feasts. Yeah, they'll never get in here. Yeah, sure. So yeah, earthquake-proof Titanic. That guy, the Titanic designer, he was so arrogant. The unsinkable ship, right?
Yeah, well, the arrogance really kicked in when I think the quote was, "Not even God could sink this ship." I think that's what the quote was. So,
And it took a piece of ice.
yeah, well, I saw some kind of documentary here just the other day again about the Titanic and how that steel didn't stand a chance at that temperature. That particular type of steel just cracked under that kind of temperature, let alone pressure. You know. So yeah.
Size of those icebergs moving and the force going against them has got to be pretty fantastic. So there goes
Yep.
one.
Doesn't look like these guys are done going down. Wow. So I am looking for that turnaround. They're not giving it to me. They're looking to take out this low. I'm hoping they do not take out that low. Ethereum says, well, I've long taken the low out, but it could be done now. So Bitcoin should start to turn without taking that low out. If they take that low out, then it's a different story. It's quite interesting here. Quite interesting. We're looking for a bounce on both the NAS and Bitcoin.
I bought some Bitcoin at 78 here. It went up to 78.40 after I bought it, but I'm waiting for 79.
$79 target.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can just go back to the top here. Yeah.
Okay. New low on NAS.
Yeah, they took the low, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got my profits back.
So that might not bode well for Bitcoin here. I'd like to see them push up here.
Another 84 handles.
You need a candle like this guy here happening right now. Boom. So we've had, there we go, we got a sweep. Move up, sweep. They could pull back, but I don't really want to see them pull back. I just want to see them go.
Boy, I see I got my hit just at the right time. Look at that turnaround. Okay, I think I'm done for the day. 227 handles.
So, George, may I ask you what you're playing there today? The NAS?
NAS, yeah.
Okay.
That's the only thing I've been playing is the NAS.
Well, maybe I had a chance to get out of some there. See if they go up again. Okay, a little higher than that. Come on. Oh, come on. Oh, so I had a really good chance to take some profits there. I did not.
Yeah, this is the time of the day when I got to be careful of when I take my profits. I can't let them fly like I can in the morning.
So this chart you got here, it says Coinbase, Bitcoin, US dollar. So are you trading on TradingView or on Coinbase or?
On TradingView.
Okay, so Coinbase is the name of the actual vehicle, the stock?
The brokerage.
Oh, the brokerage. Okay.
Oh, that's the CSV file you're talking about?
That's the broker, Coinbase.
Yeah.
If I type in Bitcoin, there's different brokers that trade Bitcoin.
Yeah, okay.
You can choose whichever one you want to use, right?
Like Robinhood, maybe?
I don't know what the list would bring up if I put it in. Let me just see. So if I type in Bitcoin, there's a list of, you got Bitstamp, Coinbase, Index, Crypto, Binance, CME, FNX, Capital.com, Kraken, Oanda. Oanda has Bitcoin. Oh, I didn't think Oanda had Bitcoin. Oh, okay. So that's new. I didn't realize Oanda had Bitcoin. So, because they don't give it to me on Axie. Interesting.
Oh, you can't trade Bitcoin on Axie?
No.
Oh.
I mean, sorry, I can't trade Bitcoin in MetaTrader in Oanda. I said that incorrectly.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Axie, I can trade Bitcoin, but Oanda, I can't trade Bitcoin
They can link
in
into
MetaTrader, but I can trade it here in TradingView, which is interesting. So Oanda and Axie, Oanda, they both use MetaTrader MT4 platform. Oanda doesn't allow you to trade Bitcoin, but Axie does. But they will allow you to trade Bitcoin in TradingView, which is quite interesting. And Axie is not in TradingView. So
So basically, you could use an Oanda account to trade Bitcoin then?
In trading, through TradingView, yes. Interesting. But they don't allow you to, they don't give you Bitcoin in Oanda's MT4, which is quite interesting. I wonder why they do that. Okay, so I missed an opportunity to take some profit. That was a mistake. I always want to take something off. So now I have to wait again. So we've got a sweep. We've got a sweep. Now we've got the retrace. So it's a buy opportunity again on Bitcoin at this point to go. I wouldn't think they'd be coming back to take this low. So we should continue pushing back to the upside here. So buy opportunity on Bitcoin right now. If I'm wrong, of course, stops. But because we swept that low, this low should be intact. Let's see what Ethereum is doing. Oh, Ethereum is looking to take the low again. Wow. So Ethereum, they're doing 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking to take that low. Interesting. Bitcoin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's possible they could take this low again, which I was hoping they wouldn't do that, but hope doesn't work in this game, eh? So they can take that low one more time, which means that they would take that low. Which puts me in some serious drawdown. But my own fault. I could have gotten out with some nice profits there and I didn't take it.
I tend to be getting more and more and taking the profits sooner rather than later.
Yes, sir. Especially in this volatile environment. It's not such a bad idea.
Going on, and I can see the real advantage of it. The thing is that we get so many opportunities to get in that it's not like it's the last hurrah, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
On some of the Forex stuff, you waited for days to get a good opportunity. And here, you get it 10 times a day at a minimum.
We're still in a very depressed state here, so they could easily take these lows out one more time. I was looking for a nice bounce here just to give us a little bit of a reprieve, but I might be asking for too much in this environment. It's very weak.
That's Bitcoin now.
And they're looking to take out the lows.
Well, it's been doing that on.
So I really thought we might have been done here because we have quite the structure here. Came down 1, 2. Looked like that would suffice. But they're looking to take out the lows again. So We're not done. So I'm gonna have to do a Nick Sean here.
What's the next Sean again?
Suffer the drawdown and buy.
That's where I'm coming to the realization that not trying to grab the maximum, but going to points that are logical and taking them off and wait for the next trade that sets up nicely. Might be a better play all along, but we'll see. I have to work out the details of it.
Well, go on, everybody. Lennox here from Simple 123 Trader. It is. That sounded familiar.
Yeah, I was just clicking on something in chat here. It's from a few days ago, I guess. So
that's how I sound, eh?
There's your new low.
Is that a new low there, George?
Bitcoin. Oh, I get a new low on the NASDAQ too. Well, I stopped the day, so whatever.
It's a very negative statement. The markets have hit a new low.
And we're not talking about the temperature outside.
Oh. All right, so here's what they're doing. Did that, thought maybe they were done here and we were getting divergence, but they said, no, we had a little bit more in mind. Let's drop down a little further. So where are they going down to now? I got to go back up to the weekly. We're still inside our daily gap.
Oh, you're on Bitcoin.
We're still inside that daily gap, midpoint of the daily gap. So I'm hoping that this would stay in here and bounce, but we do have a large 1, 2, 3 there, so that can take us way down, certainly a lot more. But I'm still looking for a bounce at this point, so not giving up on a retrace. But I am taking quite the drawdown here. They've gone through a midpoint of the gap. They're not giving us much of a bounce today. So we've got a 1, 2, 3 top, and we're going straight down. So not looking good here, guys.
No. They're going down to 70 grand on Bitcoin, I guess, eh?
Well, my next stop is 76.5, 76.7. That's quite a ways down. Let's see. All right, let's follow along here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Okay, so we're very much. Let's see how Ethereum did. Same thing. Yeah, so I had I had a chance to take get out of this situation, but I didn't take it. And now I've got a 1, 2, 3 top here. So we could get a little bit of a bounce here, and then another drop. That might be enough. So I'm going to hang in there. So I'm going to do the Nick Sean, which is to buy as price is going against me.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into doing Nick Sean's technique method too much.
Tesla has got a new low for the day again.
All these guys are going down hard. So what time are we at? We're almost at the last hour, eh?
3 minutes to the last hour.
Yep, so they're still dropping. Interesting. So back 77.6, 76.6. It's 1,000 handles. That's a long way down. Don't want to see that happening.
1,000 handles.
Well, we're at 77.6 and it could go to 76.6. That's a lot of handles.
Well, 1,000 handles is 20,000.
Kava.
I think that is a lot of handles.
Well, it's a good thing I have $1 million account.
Yeah, well, if
I'm at $1.7 million right now.
and the margin might kill you on that.
Oh yeah, we can't do this with a small account. $1.7 million is what I'm at right now.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so I can withstand all this drawdown. This is nothing really.
I was talking about a live account. Yeah, the margin would be at your heels.
So I'm looking at my trading view account and I don't know how to put gap signals in here.
It's an indicator.
Yeah, okay.
You go to indicators and just type in FVG.
SVG?
F is in Frank, V is in Victor, G is in gap.
F.
Fair value gap.
Okay. Oh, I see them. Which ones do you guys like?
There's one called Nephew Sam, the top one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. I've taken them off mine because there's just too many. There are gaps everywhere, and it doesn't mean anything. You're looking for specific gaps, you know? So this thing will paint gaps everywhere, and then it kind of confuses you if you're not aware.
Yep.
So they were very tricky here. They played a nice little game here on this. So I'm going to, they're more than likely going to drop this one more time. Come back up into this gap, and we could drop another time here. So I'll wait a little bit before buying, but let's see what Ethereum is doing at the same point. Okay, Ethereum did it differently. So we could be at the bottom because Ethereum did 5 waves. So you see the difference with Bitcoin and Ethereum here is quite pronounced. So Bitcoin just went straight down, whereas Ethereum gave us a nice hiccup and then the drop. So this could be a possible bottom here. So perhaps might be a good idea to wait for this candle to close and see if we get a gap. There'll be a gap here. So I would think, Armin, it's a good exercise to draw the gaps yourself, but then you get familiar with how they are. But it's up to you. You can use the indicator. So I'm looking for a retrace back into the gap now to push up. If this is the bottom, if it's not the bottom, then we're going to go through one more time. But I'll buy some more anyways at this point. There, so we get the push back into the gap. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I see the gap here.
Yeah, so I'll buy some more.
77.78 to 77.89 on my Bitcoin ETF here. ARC 21. I can tell you one good news story.
Mm-hmm.
On the weekend, I did the straddle, and I woke up this morning to see Bitcoin, Tesla was down to the tune of $500 on my short side, so I covered there. So I mitigated some losses, but I was still long 100 shares, and then I went long again earlier today, and so we're waiting for things to turn around.
Yeah.
It might be a while.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. Yeah. Okay, so this gap is not holding unless we wick.
April 2nd is another big day, I guess. So
it looks like they might take out the low again. So that gap is not holding.
MSTR.
All right, yeah, they're going for the low one more time, it looks like. That's what I would expect anyways, because I've got a 1, 2, 3 here. So I would expect them to take out this low one more time. All right, so this gap has been mitigated. So it's of no use. So one more sweep. Let's see, Ethereum is going to sweep the lows. Ethereum is trying not to sweep the lows because it's already done the structure. So it's possible that this is the low for Ethereum. We could get some divergence again with Bitcoin. So we could get a little bit of divergence, possibly. So they're going back, they're swinging back and forth with them. One has divergence, the other one doesn't, and so on. They switch back and forth which one diverges from the other. It was quite interesting.
It sounds like a computer program. 010101.
Yes. Yeah. And that's like S&P and the NAS, they do the same thing. They switch back and forth between which one diverges and which one does not. So similar type of affair. All right, so they didn't take out the low. Interesting. And on Ethereum, definitely didn't take out the low. So we've got quite a swing there. But Bitcoin was almost, it's dead even on the lows. So this still is a legitimate 1, 2, 3, although I would have expected them to break through that low. So we want to see a turnaround, big push back up now. Let's see if that happens, or they're still aiming to take out these lows one more time. That's still a possibility here. Especially with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is much more closer to taking out that low than Ethereum is. Yeah, it's really tough to sell in these areas because we're so close to a bottom. You don't really want to take a chance of selling because as soon as you sell, they just come back and take you out. But these were opportunities for sales, albeit very quick. You have to be in and out quickly. So that's where hedging comes in handy. For you guys in the States, you can't hedge. So
Yeah.
What do you mean the guys can't hedge?
they're not allowed in the States. They get slap on the wrist for hedging. They're not allowed by law to hedge.
Well, I don't understand how can they restrict hedging?
I know, it's like they're in school. Yeah. We're sorry, you guys. You can't hedge. They're not allowed. Yeah, there's a law. Dodd's Law, it's called, George?
Pardon?
It's called the Dodd's Law or something?
The Dodd-Frank law.
Yeah, Dodd's-Frank Law, it's called. So they're not allowed to hedge in their accounts. So in order to hedge, you have to have two accounts. So one would be going long, one would be going short. You can do it that way, but you can't do it in the same account. That's
Well,
just,
Tesla's down 15% for the day. $41.
That's why Peter made so much money today.
and he's off to the bank, I think. Eh? Yeah.
I
That's
think
just
Walt did
crazy.
pretty nicely today.
Well, it's all red on the board right now. Eh? Everything is red. Not very much green. Not very many greens here. But the news tomorrow might buoy the market back up, right? So
Yeah, it might.
Yeah.
There's one stock I follow here called DRCT, which is up 5.5% on 44,000 shares. Direct Digital. Mm. .3M is up a quarter point. I guess they need some duct tape to hold the market together.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry.
Xro is the only green at 9%. Xro, 12% for VXX, 14% for the Ultra Pro shares QQQs. So that's the inverse of the Qs. So everything else is basically down. I mean, it's not much green here at all. Wow, it's amazing. It's just a slaughter day.
DJ.
For the, it's a buoyant day for the Bears, that's for sure.
DXY, NDQ, Netflix. What the heck here?
What was that? Okay, is this Ethereum? Okay, Ethereum is making that push up. So maybe that's it now. Maybe that's it. Oh, short-lived. Ethereum looks good. Ethereum looks like, yeah, this we got a nice 1-2, and another one that could push us up. Bitcoin is a little bit, still has a little bit of trouble here to get out of.
Kellogg's was up almost 8%.
Kellogg's.
Yeah, WK Kellogg.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's Kellogg's, but
Okay, Okay, we're getting a nice push back here. So this might have been it. Might have. I say might have because, again, they can play around and chop this up and drop it back one more time still. So it's, you're never out of the woods when you're in the downward. So it's possible they could drop it one more time, or we could sneak out.
Looking for more liquidity?
Yeah. Ethereum is Ethereum looks like we're done. We could continue pushing up here more so than Bitcoin does. The NAS is making a nice push back to the upside as well. So there is hope yet. Okay, so we're getting a sweep here, sweeps here. You can either go straight or they're going to come back again and then go. So if they come back again, I'll buy some more to go. Otherwise, I can make it out of this mess that I'm in.
Okay, well.
Yeah, NAS is really pushing up nicely. Not too far away here. So this could just be, we've come back into this gap. That could just be it, and we could come back again, take out these lows, or we push through. So, of course, because I'm in it, I want to see it push through, but there's no guarantee here. And almost into positive, in positive.
Wow.
Very nicely done. So I'm good. I'm going to take the profit right there. So got out of that situation.
Oh, that's nice. It got you out.
So yeah, but I'm not going to push it for them to go higher because they might not go past this point. So they might come back, but it doesn't matter if they keep going at this point because I would look then for an opportunity to get back in again. So take a nice profit on that. It's all good. I was able to sneak out a 2,500 on that after being down quite a bit. So they did go a little higher than they did take out that high. Interesting. They would take out that high there. So I thought maybe they might stop right there and come back. So the NAS came very close as well to coming up.
Yeah, the NAS went from a -1 standard deviation to a +1 standard deviation on
Yeah,
my.
nice turnaround on the NAS as well.
Yeah, it's turning now.
So if we get a pullback here,
18 star on the NAS right now. Holds up.
so I do have a gap right here on Bitcoin, so could pull back into this gap and possible buy opportunity there on Bitcoin if they come back into this gap.
So the next Sean was working.
That worked out beautifully. Yeah, so I was able to save a big loss there. Love the play on reflections in the buildings in downtown.
Yeah.
All right, so we're getting we didn't get a deep enough retrace here for my I would have liked to see them come here. I would have bought some here to go, but they just did a small retrace. Interesting. So they didn't even come below 50%. So very strong at this point then. So Ethereum is a little weaker, struggling a little bit to get up there. So NASDAQ has made a nice jump as well. So I was able to make nice profits on NAS as well. I'm going to come back all the way up, all the way back up. So that worked out favorably because I believed that we were going to turn around. Otherwise, I wouldn't have, I would not have done that. If you have to have a belief that thing's going to turn around and go back up. Otherwise, it's best. Otherwise, it's best to just put the stop on and take the loss early and not go through the drawdown. So they both worked out. I made a nicer profit in NAS on the way back up. So with NAS, I made a almost $5,000 profit. With the Bitcoin, I made a $2,200 profit. So NAS was nicer to me coming back up. So the NAS is quite a nice move here. So going up back to the daily and looking at the NAS, you see what's happened here. We came back into that little gap right there. They just wicked it. So our 4-hour candle is still very much bearish, right? We're still very much. I'm sorry. This is the daily candle. The daily candle is very much bearish, but looking to turn. We're starting to get a wick or a tail. So where will this end up closing? If we can close back inside of this previous daily candle, that will give us a chance to go back up. But if we can't close inside of the previous daily candle, we might still have some pressure to the downside. But I liked this area for a turnaround, and that's what I was looking for. back down. So we had that nice, so it could have been played to the downside. I really, it's tough though to play going down when you're way down on the chart already. So it's so looking for the bounce is a better way to go, I would think, but it's tough, as you can see. All right, so there is our big, huge turnaround point. Midpoint of the gap. There's our tail on our 4-hour candle. So we're getting this move. So big retrace here might give us a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom to continue out. So we'll look for a retrace of this entire move. And well, they're going higher even, so gotta keep moving that. But they're taking out those highs, so equal highs right there. So I could have hung in there a little bit more, but that's okay. Taking out those equal highs. You could see a pullback to this area, maybe. Maybe. So they're not giving us any retrace here. Well, relentless move to the upside. So they might, if we get a top here, they might go and take out this high first. It looks like that's what they're aiming for, to take out that high. And then we could get the retrace. So retrace might bring us back. There's a big gap here. And that would, if they take out the high, that would be about 50% retrace into that gap. So that might just be what they're doing here. And similar with Bitcoin. So quite a nice move here. I could have stayed in and made a lot more.
Yeah, there's still more up.
I was really looking for a retrace, a bigger retrace. Like, you know, these retraces are so tiny, so there's a lot of strength in this move. That's what it's telling us, right?
We've got 4 up 3-minute Heikin-Ashi candles at this point.
Yeah, they're taking out the highs. So, is there anything else over here? Oh yeah, there's more highs. That's quite a move. You see, when they turn it around, you know, unless you're really quick, you're not going to get a chance to get in to go. They just take off. So
well, see, that's what I had attempted to do earlier on NASDAQ, and it started on a wave 3 and then it stopped dead in its tracks. And that's when I ended up, I think, with a 1.5 handle loss. which I fortunately made up.
Okay, so if this is the top, then looking for a retrace back down. But so essentially, then what they're doing, and they're still going up. So, well, they're looks like they're heading for this guy at this point. Okay, so on the 5-minute time frame, this high, this would be our change of character. We can do it off the 5-minute too, right? And play this off the 5-minute. So looking for the sweep and then retrace back around 50% of this move. That will give us our nice 1, 2, 3 bottom. That would give us a big push to the upside. So you could play this 1, 2, 3 bottom and take target that high, and even these highs up here. So that would be a nice play on the 5-minute, off the 5-minute time frame. So it looks like that's exactly what they've done, just spiked above that high. Take out the sellers that were sitting here. Let's go back to the 1-minute. Oh, I mean, it's just a touch. Really, they just went through by like a tick. So they might be done, or they might go through a little bit more forcefully. They might go through with a bigger wick and then come back. But that's anyone sitting there with stops would have been stops in here, taken out, stops in here, stops in here. So all the sellers, all the guys who are hanging on thinking that price is still going to continue going down, were taken out really quickly. So now we get the retrace back down. All right, so this is working nicely. So I'm going to move this guy up to the high. So 50% puts us right almost dead center into this gap. So if we can come below 50%, ideally, that presents a nice buy opportunity with stops under here. So I'll put the stops in this time, because if they do come back in, I'll take a buy, but I'll put the stops in because I don't want to go through the drawdown like I did earlier. So this is about a 27% retrace so far. So I want to see them come down a little bit more than that.
Oh, come on. Fuck off. You bastard.
Oh, somebody's a little upset there.
Well, I'm enjoying it when you do the analysis and play with Bitcoin, because I can follow along. Makes it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I have some skin in the game for that. But
yeah, I'm just a little disappointed that I went into the drawdown. I was hoping to catch the bottom and make the move back up, because that's where you really make the money. So making $2,500, $2,200, whatever, is nice, but this could have been like $10,000 plus on that move, right? So
sure. If I would have stayed awake today and shorted Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, shorted Tesla and just rode it all the way down, would have been huge.
Yes.
$12,000 on 300 shares, maybe.
Yeah.
16,000 on 400
Well,
shares.
Peter said he got $3,000 out of it, so that's very good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like just a lot of panicking. Oh, hi, Peter.
Hey. Yeah, you should have stayed up, Aaron.
Well, who would have believed it would have gone down that much? I mean, that's just crazy. That's just crazy.
Tesla
Yeah,
and the NAS and the S&P and Bitcoin,
everything.
they're all
everything.
falling. So I think what Peter was showing this when we looked at Tesla this morning, if we look at the open at 9:30, this is it right here, I think, in here. This 1, 2, 3 tells you that we're going down, right? So as soon as that happens and you put your trend line on this move, that's
Well,
it's
that's
all over,
fine.
but the crying. It's all over, but the crying now. Right? So,
if you can really believe for it and stick with it, then
well, that's the thing. I mean, it's if you understand and believe the structure, then this is just a chop. So as soon as you get your 1, 2, 3 that's pronounced, and you're breaking it, this is a sell.
yeah,
You have to believe, though, right? You have to be.
that's just it. Believe it. I mean,
it's one thing to see it and then okay after the fact, but when it's live and going, that's the move, right? So you see they're doing the same right now, where they're doing the same chop. They're chopping up and down here, so it's still not. They're not out of the woods with Tesla. We can still drop one more time because this is more of a chop here, so we could still drop down one more time. This is like an A, B, C, D, E move, one more time to the downside. But the NAS and Bitcoin are totally different. The NAS is pushing up with lots of strength, not giving me a big retrace. So I'm not getting the entry that I would like to see, So you missed the trade, but that's okay, right? As long as you can see what's going on, it's okay. They can still come back. I can see the structure, so I know that it's still possible for them to come back. So you're never out of the game trying to get in, because there's always opportunities, and that's the one thing that you gotta love about the game, right? So just because you miss one train doesn't mean that you can't wait and catch the next train. So there's a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave pattern that they're putting on. So we should expect a retrace of this. So Bitcoin and Ethereum, same kind of thing. And Ethereum is not as strong. They're just but they're doing the same pattern. See? Now they're doing that. So the pattern is beautiful here. We've got the 1, the 2, the 3, they chop, 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 4, 5. So we should expect a retrace to continue. So they're going to come and take out these lows on the retrace. Take them out. It just gives you an entry right here. So the question is always, okay, if they do come back to take out these lows, what are they going into? And there's usually a gap of some kind or an order block, and there's an order block. There's nothing else. So they're more than likely going to come back into that order block and then go. There's an order block here as well, so that might be enough for them to just do a little blip and then go from here. So, but that's what we would expect. So NASDAQ again. Let me go back to the NAS. Same kind of thing. They've made this 5-wave move to highs. So where's my line here? So now I've got to move this guy up to here. So I'd be looking for them to come back up about 50%. And there's an order block there. Block of orders here. So if they come back again, that's an opportunity. Look at it from the 5-minute. So yeah, this is they've like I said, that when they got here, that they could take this out a little bit more with more oomph, and they did. So now we could get that pullback and to continue. this move up. So that looks like the ploy, and we're coming into macro time at 10 minutes to the hour, to the last hour. So what their plan of attack then would be to take out all the sellers that are still hanging in up here, because that's where all the liquidity is. So the macro at 10 minutes to the hour today is looking for liquidity. So where's all the liquidity? The liquidity is all up here. So that's the most likely scenario, is that they're going to drop it back in here, give everybody a chance to get in, to go up to take out these guys. So buy an opportunity.
Buy some more Bitcoin down around 78.
Yeah, so Bitcoin should be similar. Yeah, Bitcoin's the same, right? So we would look for a retrace back in to go back up and take out all the sellers straggling in these areas. Because there's only sellers here, or buyers here, that's it.
70.
So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We're looking for that big retrace here now. There's a gap. There's a gap right at 50%. I'll go back down to the 1 minute. All right, so can we get that? Drop back down here. They might not do it for us. So I'd like to see them take out these equal lows here, at least. So this is a sell opportunity right now on NAS. You could sell that coming back down. If you're brave.
I'm brave.
You're selling Tesla there?
Sorry?
You're selling Tesla there?
Well, not there, but earlier,
Yeah.
previously.
So Tesla is doing the same thing, setting up for a sell to take out all these lows. So it looks like Tesla's going to come down, take out the lows, and then scream back up at the end. The last 10 minutes.
I'll take that.
So you could get 223, 224 to 220. Not bad, 4 points.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, any day. All day. So yeah, they're coming back quickly to take out these lows. So you can see it's just a structure. And if you can see it and then you understand what I'm talking about, then there's your 1, 2. That's the controller. That's the guy that controls the move. Then you get another one, and then you get this drop. So we're just in a fourth wave. So it's an A and a B and a C and a D and an E, and then drop. They give you a 1, 2 here, and then we drop through, take out all these lows. All these buyers who thought that this was it for Tesla to go up are going to get taken out. It's a beautiful thing.
Tesla.
So that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing all the time. This is what they're doing all the time. It's the same pattern over and over and over and over and over again. We're getting quite the So I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to take now because they're all doing the same thing now. So we get that break. Oh, they're taking out those lows. We're coming back down quickly here. So this would have been a nice sell right there. Back down. And then you should come back into this gap. Looks like they might even go lower because I have a big 1-2 here. So we could do this and then drop one more time. Let's see. So 50%, we're right at the 50% mark right there of this entire move. So we want to be in below 50% when we buy. So a little pull back up and then continuation down. And buy opportunity here. Oh, Canada. So for all those on YouTube watching this, these are all my my own photos that I've taken. This is downtown Vancouver. One of our favorite things to do is to take photos of reflections in buildings. It's kind of cool. So many neat stuff. All right, so here they come. They're coming back down into that gap. So looking for an entry here now. So they've swept that low. I'd like to see them come down a bit more into it, into this gap here. Should come right into it. Okay, get ready here for a buy. One more drop in. When does it come right into it? Sometimes they don't come into it. This is super annoying when they don't. But they come within a tick and they don't go in. But let's see if they do come back and drop in. It might not. To my own chagrin here. That's when you're nickel and diming yourself. You know, you get that close and you don't take the trade.
932.
So sometimes it's just best to take the trade at that moment in time when you get really close. But I'm looking for them to come down one more time here. Let's see if they do. What's our time? We've got 5 more minutes before macro, so they could come down a little further. So if they come into the gap, say halfway, then stop below this candle right there.
D. 944.35. So Amazon HO 754.
I gotta go, Lennox.
All right, Peter.
Gotta go to the bank.
All right.
142.
Have a good rest of the day.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, take care. So they're not going to give me that drop. Oh my. They should. We got 3 minutes before macro time. So I'm still looking for that drop into this gap here. They might not give it to me, but still expecting it though. Yeah, I might have just nickel and dimed myself out of that position there, but they can still drop it down real quick, right at the 10 minutes to time. See how S&P looks. S&P's the same. Nasdaq's the same. Okay, I would expect them to take out this low one more time. Looking for that move still. Okay, we've got less than a minute to go before the macro kicks in. So if I'm going to get in, I have to get in within this minute here. Otherwise, I might miss a big move. So I am expecting another drop, but I might not get it. So this is where waiting for one more tick to go into this box. Had I just taken the trade right there, I'd be okay right now. However, like I say, they can still drop it back. So we'll see. We got seconds to go. It doesn't look like they're going to come back down at all. They might just go straight up without me. Interesting. Yeah, so they're not coming back. They come back into this order block. It is still a possibility, but very remote now, perhaps, at this point, that they might just continue going straight up.
You got 9 minutes left.
Just being a bit too precise here, looking for that one little drop, one more little drop there. Here they come. They might do it still. You know, it's still a possibility because they just kind of wicked into the order block here. So it's still a possibility we could come back. But long shot now.
Oh, that's a slower turn, though. I mean, it's trying to do it, but with only 8 minutes to go, this macro.
It did catch Bitcoin because Bitcoin was doing the same thing. So yeah, they might just shoot straight up here now, and they might be holding it till 1 o'clock, till 4 o'clock, I should say, your time there. It's a little slow. They're not doing much here. Coming back a little bit. Are they going to take that low? Okay, so I have a 1, 2. So it's possible that they can do it. It is a possibility, George. There's a lot of room here from this move from the low to the high, and they came down. So yeah, they can take that low, eh? Yeah. So maybe that patience paid off waiting. See if they'll break that low. So at this point now, you would expect them to break the low because they've come all the way back. You'd expect them to take that low and drop into the gap. So I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, I've come close again. So I could have taken the trade, but let's see if they do drop it one more time, or maybe that's it and they're gone. So they came pretty close, but I would expect one more still, or not. They came back to the order block here, with a wick or with a tail.
Trying to turn the can positive.
Yep, I think that might have been it.
So what would it take for a Tesla to drop to $145?
Wow.
I was going to say something, but it probably wouldn't be in good taste.
145?
Yep.
It's low down here. Wow. Don't want to see that.
Yeah.
We're right at the last line of defense right now here. So we don't really want to see them go below this level. Never mind, right? This is 213. That would be a little bit on 211. That's 211, 212 area, 211.94. So let's say 212. Yeah, we don't want to see them go below 212, really. That's not good. But they've gone through. This is again the last line of defense here, and then we have this swing low. So if we can't turn here, then yeah, it's possible. But I'm looking for a bounce here. You know, even if we come down to 212, we get a bounce back up. But doesn't mean that we can't still continue back down to take out that low over here.
Yeah, 140.
Yeah.
145.
Because I have a 1, 2, 3 top here. So since I have a 1, 2, 3 top, that's controlling this current move. I'm looking for a bounce that could take us back up into this gap, and then we could still drop one more time, take out these lows, drop down into the 180 area. You see? So that is, you know, still certainly a possibility. If I grab this guy and bring him down here. So that's at 180. So we could certainly come down there. But we'd like to see a little bit of a bounce here first. And this bounce could take us even higher up. You know, we could come back all the way up here before they decide to come back again. But that's what I say. But I wouldn't see this move taking us down, if to answer your question, down to 145. It's possible, of course, right? But this would be the stopping point, I would think, around the 180 mark.
Right. Well, 160 or thereabouts is April of last year. So a year ago.
Yeah. So we don't want to see that kind of fall. That's not good for the markets, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not really sure. Some people care.
Especially if you're selling it.
Yeah, if you're in the bear mode, then yeah, you would want to see it go down there.
All good if you're shorting.
1929, right?
So buy opportunity on the NAS right now, because I don't think they're coming down any lower. We've got, no, it's okay. It's 1 o'clock now. It's 4 o'clock now Eastern. So the bell is just rung. So we could see a big push out here now. Or they're coming back down one more time to take these lows. But I think more so going back up. But
I'd almost expect down than up because the market's been so weak.
it has been weak, but there's not much liquidity down here. It's only here right now and down here. So the liquidity is all above. So I think if they're going to go, they should be going up to take out liquidity, but they can still come down. You know, they're denying that. This is low-hanging fruit right now, right? But there's not much movement here, so it wouldn't have been a great buy anyways. Even getting in, I mean, a little bit of profit there, but nothing dramatic.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to sign off for now.
All right.
Okay, have a good
See you,
one.
Armin.
Okay,
All right.
have a good afternoon. Bye for now.
Okay. Take care. Thanks for dropping in. So just Marquis and Stacy left. Good.
Yeah, we're the true diehards,
Yeah.
other than yourself.
No, I'm definitely a diehard, that's for sure. My wife keeps saying, "How do you do it?" It's called madness. That's what. Okay, so we're not getting a push here at all. I'm looking for that push, but they're not doing it.
Well, it's not having much momentum at this point. Playing wave 4 type motion.
I think Bitcoin's poised to take off out of its mess. And I think if I go to the 5-minute on NAS, it's poised to go. You can see it's poised to go out of there, right, to take out these highs and all these guys up here. It's setting up to do that, but it's very slow. So I bought Bitcoin, and I'm looking for Bitcoin to also shoot to the upside here, but it's very slow, methodical. So it might be into the Asian session, and we'll see this continue climbing. All right, we're getting a little bit of a move now. So my TP would be up at this high here.
Lennox, I put a chart in the room. The main chart is MSTR, but it's a percentage chart. And I'm looking at 1 year change of MSTR versus XLG versus Tesla versus ARC-B.
Hmm.
It's kind of interesting. ARC-B hasn't really moved much at all in the whole year.
ARC-B is yellow, flat?
Yeah, orange color, yeah.
Orange, yeah. Yeah, they're all taking a little dip right now, that's for sure. But it looks like a big extended fourth wave.
Yeah.
We're in. So we're looking for them to shoot out of there.
But you can see that, from the top, MSTR has had pretty much the nicest move down.
Yes.
I mean, staying positive.
Well, the thing is, MSTR is not just Bitcoin. There's other. It's
Yeah.
It's got other things going. So that's probably the reason why.
Be the same kind of thing, though.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, not much movement in NAS. Not much movement. The NAS is trying. It's trying, but it's not really. It's going to be again a slow grind out into the Asian session. It looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what I call a tapered wave or a dampened wave that you get in.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I thought they would be shooting out of here to take out all the highs and so forth, but they're not. So not happening today. So we do, because we do have news tomorrow. That might possibly be why.
Might spark some activity.
The job openings might be, a big news tomorrow morning. That might jolt the market back up. The JOLTS job openings thing, right? So maybe they're just holding off for that. possibility. All right. So on that note, then,
I'm going
since things
to
are a little bit
down my system.
slow motion here, I can call it a day.
You know, VIX is still up at 27 at this point, so that's been running in the high mode in March.
Yeah. Well, the fear index, of course. Yeah, but with Trump, all this tariff talk and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah, everybody's a little bit on edge, right?
Nobody can really figure out that.
Well, we've got a new prime minister in Canada now, so
Yeah.
things are going to change up here. All right, gentlemen.
Okay, have a good one.
Another
Thanks,
day.
everyone.
Stacy, thank you. Marquis,
Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Catch you guys.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Profitable trading to everyone. Take care.